Coming up on the sports desk, the Saxons girls basketball team remains undefeated this season. We're courtside to witness the magic. The North girls soccer team is one of the top-ranked girls teams in the CIF Southern Section. But did the Tartars tarnish that crown a bit? And joining me in studio, professional soccer star Ashley Nick, chatting all about equal pay for women athletes and wanting a women's professional soccer team here in LA. How about throw in some girls water polo action with all 4 high schools, boys basketball, plus B-ball alumni continuing to ball out hard, and we've got ourselves one big show. We've got the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Let's get things started right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Desk, your one source for all things Torrance sports. I am your host, Lesley Robbins, bringing you a gateway to the brightest sports stars and hottest sports spots in Torrance. Before we get to the good stuff, we of course want to hear from you. Here are the social media stats. I'm at Lesley Mia. The show is at the Sports Desk TV. We've got email, Facebook. Tell us what's going on and what we need to know, because when it comes down to it, the show is all about you. Now let's get you in the know with some numbers. Let's jump right into the pool with girls water polo, as it was non-stop action this week as all 4 of our schools hit the Torrance Aquatic Center for area matchups. Melanie Chacon has the roundup.
Thanks, Lesley. North hosted West in a league game and fell to the Warriors 22-1. The Saxons' only goal came in the first quarter. We spoke with West's coach and a couple of their players about today's performance, how their season's been thus far, and what they have to look forward to. Here are the highlights and the interviews.
It was a good opportunity for our freshmen and sophomores to get in. We're still a young team, so it was good for them to get in and actually work with some of the varsity players. So it was good for them and good for their confidence, and a lot for them to work on their communication. That was a big thing for us. We're pretty happy with our season right now. We've had 2 tournaments that we've entered, and we've won both of those tournaments. So the girls are doing great. A couple losses that we struggled with, and we're learning from those losses.
Today I think we did pretty good, but this game was more about the team as a whole than like scoring a lot of goals, so we tried to give the ball to our younger players as much as we could, just to give them some experience for our bigger games. Our season has actually been really good. We've only lost 2 games so far, I think, and the last 2 tournaments we've been to, we won both of them, so that's really exciting. Right now, we're actually ranked 2nd in our division, which is super awesome, so I'm excited to go to CIF, and hopefully we do really well, because last year we were runner-up, so this year we're hoping to win CIF.
So this game, before we brought a speaker in the locker room, we were just trying to cheer ourselves up, because we did have a loss on Monday against South. And it was kind of like hard because the first time ever losing to South for girls water polo. And so just as a team, we wanted to get our spirits back up. And so this game was like really important for us because we were trying to figure out how to communicate after the break. I feel like our season's been going really good because we are, I think, 2-12 now. So coming from my freshman year being in the Bay League against Redondo, Costa, I think we never won a league game. So last year was our first year ever winning a league game. Our first year West has ever gone to CIF for girls and boys. And so we got runner-up in CIF last year, and we were moved up a division. So being ranked number 2 in a division that's 1 up from like last year is like really important to us. So I excited to see what our future holds for our team and just keep working hard. My goals for the remainder of the season for our girls are just to keep working together. A lot of it is just having fun and like wanting to be here, because like in the end, we're not gonna remember like how much we won and how much like some girls might remember that, but more of we're gonna remember like the experiences we had, the girls that we had it with. And so I think for the remainder of the season, like my goal is just to like keep us going, keep us motivated to want to be here.
On the other side of town, South hosted Torrance in another league game. The match got off to a slow start with a great defensive effort on both ends. The first goal was made by South late in the first quarter, and the Spartans continued to put the pressure on the Tartars. South players scored 5 unanswered goals, And by the end of the second quarter, the Tartars were working on a comeback. South led 5-2 at the half. In the third quarter, the Tartars fought on, adding 3 more goals, bringing them within 2. This penalty shot for Torrance caught the Spartans' attention, and South was able to hold the lead and won 6-5.
We had a little bit of a slow start, and we weren't really scoring as much as I thought we could have in the beginning of the game. So when it got towards the end and we were only up by 1, it kind of was a little nerve-wracking, to say the least. I think that's probably the worst spot to be in a game, is up by 1 at the end, just because it's very hard to hold on to a lead. But yeah, the girls played amazing and we took the win, and yeah, very exciting. I think it really was a team effort in that everyone was able to handle the ball today. Nobody really had a bunch of bad passes or a bunch of turnovers, and we were really evenly spread out and evenly matched. I think we could have used our speed, like I said, a lot more in the game, so I think round 2, that's what we need to focus on. But for today, it was really, really awesome.
Let's talk soccer now. The North girls team is one of the top-ranked teams this week in their CIF Southern Section Division. The Torrance gals aren't too shabby either. So what do you think happened when the Saxons faced the Tartars in the Pioneer League opener? Well, some are calling it an upset. Justin Thompson has the details.
Pioneer League soccer kicked off this past week with the North girls hosting Torrance High for a clash between 2 strong teams. North opened up the scoring in this one. Great shot from Evelyn Sandoval, shooting past 2 defenders and sneaking it inside the left post. The Tartars responded though. Nice pass and a great finish from freshman Allison Lorenz to tie the game up at 1 apiece. The Saxons, with some fancy footwork and beautiful passing, struck right back. Senior Stephanie Caraccio boots it in with the left foot to put North back on top, 2-1. Crazy sequence here with Torrance deep in North's territory. The Saxons trying to get the ball out of there, but a Tartar was right there making sure that didn't happen, and we had a tie game once again. Until the freshman ices it. Allison Lorenz, have yourself a game. 2 goals and the game winner here late in regulation. 3-2 Torrance with the huge win.
Today I thought we did extremely well. We worked very hard. We found an opportunity to, be dangerous with our speed, and, we scored 3 great goals, and we were just happy to come back twice in the game. This is a strong league. All the Torrance schools have a lot of quality, and, it comes down to who can beat who, and we were happy to get the result, especially away from home.
Today was a really big game for us. Beating North was one of our biggest competitions, and we finally did it after 4 years of me being a senior. So it was a really big win for us.
For us, our motto's always been, sacrifice nothing, give everything, So we just work hard for each other. We just live by that motto, and whatever happens, happens. We're happy with whatever result we get because we know we're going to work our hardest. We're hoping to get a couple more big wins against the other Torrance schools. We're very young, but we have a lot of talent, and we think we can make some noise in league this year.
2 days later, North welcomed Morningside and got the win, 7-0. South clobbered INGLEWOOD with a 13-0 victory. Then the Spartans won their league game 2-0 over the Tartars. And in boys soccer, North ran all over Torrance, 12-0. Then the Saxons got another Pioneer League win over Morningside, 3-0. West also beat the Monarchs 2-1. The B Monty boys lost 2 in a row on the road. First to Cathedral, 3-0. Then to Bishop Amat, 7-0. Okay, coming up, staying on the soccer beat, we've got professional soccer player Ashley Nick in studio on her agenda, creating a women's pro team right here in SoCal. And later we hit the hardwood at all of our high schools while some B-ball area alumni continue to shine. Stay tuned. Joining me now in studio, professional soccer player, SoCal native, and all-around awesome lady, Ashley Nick. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for the intro. I'm going to add that to my Twitter, all-around awesome lady. I'm happy to be here.
Well, you are, and we're going to talk about how awesome you are because your athletic resume is stellar. Tell people about what you have going on if they don't know.
Yes, so I'm from Arcadia, California. I wanted to play soccer when I was 5 years old. I was playing with boys at recess. I came home. I told my mom and dad I want to play soccer. So they said, oh, no, honey, nobody plays soccer in America. So I cried and cried and cried. And my dad went to Blockbuster, so we're dating myself, got the tape, learned all the rules, and he was my first coach. So this was the first time in my career that, people didn't quite see the vision I had, right? Your own parents, and they would hate me, not hate me, but they would be upset with me to say that now because they've supported me all the way through my career. So going from there, I played for the Slammers in Huntington Beach, and then I earned a full scholarship to the University of Southern California, where I got to captain the first national championship team. Then from there, I went on to play professionally in the Netherlands, and a similar thing, kind of went there and just believed that just because the team had never won before doesn't mean that it can't happen. And that's kind of what I think. You have to dream and believe, and somebody has to change history, so why not you? So went there, won the championship with a team called FC Twente, then played in Norway, Cyprus, Russia, and just finished playing with Juventus in Italy as the first American, both male and female.
It's amazing that you're here now, especially that soccer, of course, is in season in our high schools. And it's bigger than ever. Even in Torrance, we have the Salsa Women's Club, semi-professional team. How are you inspiring all of these women that want to be in your shoes?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I enjoyed playing high school. It's such a special thing to put on that jersey and represent a whole school. And the salsa girls are out there working their butts off, right? They're working hard. And so what we're trying to do here with I Saw Soccer, Incredible Soccer Association of Women, is bring that buzz back to Southern California. There's a professional league, the NWSL, but there's not a professional team in Southern California. So who's to say that these salsa women, who are good players, they're playing semi-pro because there's no pro team. So just because they don't want to go the route I did and play in other countries, they might think, well, why would I want to leave beautiful sunny California? Doesn't mean that they're not talented enough to be on a pro team. So we want to give that opportunity to the women of Torrance, women all around the world, to come to Southern California, and for the viewers to see the beautiful game through the ladies who work incredibly hard to perfect their craft.
So how do you, besides coming to the Sports Desk, how do you spread this message? How do you get people to rally behind your cause?
So for us, we're putting on a game on February 16th at Titan Stadium at Cal State Fullerton. And this game is, since there isn't the pro team, we're bringing 34 pro players to you here in Southern California. So we're also combining it with a game with a cause. So one team will be breast cancer awareness, and the other will be equal pay, which are two really important things in the world. And we actually have a player who's playing on our team that had breast cancer just about 4 months ago. She had the surgery. She's doing great, and she played 2 months after the surgery in her final game. So an everyday superwoman, Toni Presley. So we want people to connect with these women. We know about the U.S. women's national team, but there's also a plethora of amazing other women professional players who have great stories. They're an inspiration. They might look just like you. And we want people to know them. We want people to feel inspired, whether you're a young girl or you're an adult male. Everybody can be inspired by people working hard and passion.
So who are the people that have to say, at the top, okay, let's start this team? Who's that person at the top?
Yes. So we are so thankful for the Diaz family, and Nick Diaz is the main investor, and he basically watched the Women's World Cup this summer and was like, why do we not have a team in Southern California? This is amazing, and there's so much talent just in Southern California. Top players come out of here all the time. We have the top universities competing, always in the Final Four for soccer. So he just said, you know what, let's give this a go. And we made a plan that was, the NWSL goes for 7 months of the season, and then there's a really long off season that we said this is the time to do it so players can be pro the whole year round. So somebody finally said, and with change, you have to take big risks, and you need funding as well, right? So I have all these great ideas, but I need help with that, and we need people who share a similar passion. And so someone finally said, you know what, I'm willing to try to do this.
Now, doing it is one thing on like the business level, but how do you instill that in the players who kind of want to give up, or maybe, like you said, their parents are telling them, you can't be a professional soccer player. Go do this, go do that. Get that out of your brain. So how do you keep those women inspired to be like, I could do this just like you did.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you're bringing up, because a lot of players that I started playing pro with are no longer on that pro journey, sadly, because either they went and said, you know what, I want to make sure I can pay my rent. I want to make sure I want to do this, or this. And it's sad to say, because these are excellent players that could still be playing. And you just have to continue to, if that passion is still there, you know, because when I'm 50, I can't be playing, I hope. Maybe.
Yes,
but, yeah.
You're in great shape.
Maybe,
yes, you can.
Maybe. So I don't want to maybe 51 I'll be up, but 50
Yeah,
I'll still be going. So you have to do it now. So if you still have that love for the game, you have to keep playing. And for us, it's going out to schools locally and even younger girls clubs and seeing that look in their eye and that passion. And that's why we still fight for what needs to happen for the game to change, because I want the younger players to have an even better pro journey and soccer journey than I did, and I had an awesome one, but it'll be nice to not worry about money for players in years to come.
Well, you talk about money and change. Obviously, that's a big movement right now. Equal pay for women in sports, especially soccer.
Yes, and that's why we put one of our Game with the Cause teams to be equal pay, because it's in the media, it's a conversation of topic, and when we say equal pay, I think sometimes people hear it and they kind of want to turn their shoulder to it. But when we say equal pay, I don't mean that me and Cristiano Ronaldo are driving the same car. I don't mean we're living in the same house, right? Not yet, because ticket sales is how it goes around and this and that. So that's why we're here, and that's why we're trying to promote, because the more support we can get, then the more equal pay becomes a reality. But what we're asking for to start is just the right reimbursement, is maybe not even the word, but just the right pay to show all the hard work that the women are putting in, because we're still waking up at 6 a.m. You're still eating healthy. You're still like running that body down and, you know, working hard. You just don't have the funds to pay for, you know, the complete package of a personal chef or someone to be, you know, massaging you every day. So this is what we mean by equal pay. So I can be a professional athlete. All I have to focus on is my performance on the field, being a good role model, obviously other things, being a good person off the field and this and that. But the point is that I can continue to perfect my craft, not that, oh, I go to training in the morning and then I have to hurry along because I have to do 3 personal training sessions for young girls and then maybe work at Starbucks or something for a couple hours. These are real stories. And even though we love training the girls, that's something that can be done, you know, it shouldn't have to be a necessity. Like for you, I have to do that. It should be, this is just enjoyable, which it is, but you should be able to not depend on that income to pay your bills, just your professional income.
Now, of course, we're talking kind of a local issue that we want to champion this team, but what you're even speaking about, it's an international issue.
Oh, yeah. And so the game has progressed greatly, but it is still very much the pioneer stages of women's soccer. Yeah. So we just need people to still be encouraged and still keep playing, and we need support. So we need people at this game on February 16th. If you know, you can't, oh, I don't have the funds to sponsor a girl, or I don't have the funds to sponsor a team, but you buying a ticket and supporting the breast cancer awareness, the equal pay, and all these players coming on February 16th to the OC, then that is your part. So that is how we do it, and we make a change for people who are like, okay, well, I'm not sure if I can, you know, fund something like this. Start small. Just the first step, and that's, you know, supporting teams.
You have a fire in your belly about this sport. The passion is coming out of your eyeballs.
Yes.
Really. How have you maintained that through all of your career, the ups, the downs? It's still very much present.
I think when I started playing, I genuinely just loved the game. Obviously, I came home. I don't even remember this story, but for me to cry and cry and cry, I definitely was persistent that I was going to play. And it's goal setting as well, and just always setting a goal, and if it happens, you set a new one, and if it doesn't, you readjust, and how do I still get to that goal? So for me, there's a certain thing when I walk onto the field, it's a feeling that you can't get anywhere else, and I just love the game, and I think that through sports, you can learn so many good, you know, people skills, like time management, organization, working with others, communicate, all these things are really important, and I love the team environment, and I want everybody to be able to feel that passion for the players, because we work really hard. And I'm from Southern California, so I would love a professional team here eventually. And I think it can be done.
I was going to ask you, what advice would you give to the young girls in the high schools? What advice would you give to them when they want to be in your shoes? But I think you just kind of told me.
Yeah, definitely. And my thing is, like, I used to always just write on my wrist before the game, I can and I will, or believe. Those are my little things that, like, you know, I made a little mistake, right? Nobody's perfect. I just take a little look, I refocus, I keep going. And so I just want everybody to take from this, whether you're a soccer player or you have another goal or dream, but to believe in it, because the first step in other people believing it is you believing in it. And then people will feel that and they'll start believing in you as well. And so I just want people to also know that just because something's not been done, it doesn't mean that you can't be the one to do it. And I think if someone says, oh, maybe you should work on this a little bit, or you notice a weakness in your game, and I'm talking about game of life, it doesn't have to be soccer, but since we're talking soccer, then go out there and work on that weak foot. Go out there and work on those things, because 5 minutes of a little extra into anything will take you to the next level.
Wise words.
Thank you.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much for coming to the studio and spreading the love of soccer.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and we'll see everybody on February 16th.
Absolutely. Okay, coming up, basketball, and more basketball. North girls are unstoppable. West boys find their groove, and some area b-ball alumni continue being awesome on the court. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Lesley Robbins here. North girls basketball is amazing. They just became 12-0 overall, 2-0 in league after defeating Morningside 61-13. A few days earlier, the Lady Saxons beat Torrance 50-34. Justin Thompson was at that game.
Thanks, Lesley. The North High girls basketball team showing why they were undefeated on the year, taking care of business against Pioneer League opponent Morningside. Let's get the highlights rolling right now. This one was all North from the start. The Saxons red hot out of the gate, jumping out to a 13-0 lead, prompting Morningside to take an early timeout. Not what the Monarchs drew up in the huddle, turning the ball over, giving the ball back to the Saxons, and they knew what to do with it tonight. But it wasn't just the offense. North was getting it done on the defensive end as well, holding their opponent scoreless in the first quarter while dropping 26 points of their own. More of the same in the second quarter, just too easy for the Saxons tonight, scoring at will, getting to the basket, and finishing with ease. 46-5 Saxons at the half, and yes, you heard that correctly. North kindly took their foot off the gas in the second half, electing to not shoot the ball in the paint, but this team is undefeated for a reason. They can hit threes too. North stays perfect on the year, winning this one by a final score of 61-13. North's head coach and athletic director liked what she saw.
I believe, like, no matter what the game or practice, every single kid should be getting better in some way, some shape, or some form. We had our posts bring up the ball to work on their ball handling tonight. Obviously, they don't get to handle the ball a whole lot when we have guards, but also their passing ability. Like, a lot of times we're passing it to them, and they're the ones shooting versus them learning to pass to the guards. So it was good. Our guards, some of the guards who don't bring up the ball usually got to dribble the ball up the court. And then it was kind of neat to see our posts get excited to be able to shoot three-pointers. For me, it's one game at a time, one practice at a time. And we really just focus on being in the moment. So whether it's practice or a game, we're only focused on that day. I mean, I think the kids are having a blast. The great thing about this team is they all get along. And as a coach, it makes your life a lot easier when the kids get along. They like each other both on and off the court. We just got back from Hawaii, and they had a blast. And so I think they're having just as much fun as I am.
The Lady Knights won their Delray League opener against Sarah 73-55. The next game, the girls basketball team at Bishop Montgomery improved to 2-0 in the Delray League by beating Cantwell Sacred Heart of Mary 77-47. South had a good game too against Inglewood on the road, winning 46-34. The Lady Warriors are on a roll. They are 3-0 in league right now under the leadership of coach and past Sports Desk guest Ricky Murakami. Here's their home game against Morningside, where they came out with the dub big time. How does 77-16 sound? 2 days later, they'd go on to beat Inglewood on the road 58-31. On the boys' side, the Knights open Delray League play in dominating fashion, beating Cantwell Sacred Heart of Mary 99-29. The Warriors boys squad, now 9-7 overall, 2-0 in league, scored a big old W when they recently took on Morningside senior number 2, Zach Tanada, senior number 1. He's coming up right here, Brandon Kirscher. And also we've got junior number 22 coming up, Evan Iwamoto. They each had 9 points, while senior at the helm, Devin Higashagawa, nailed 7. Coach Russell Payne couldn't be prouder of his boys.
Played hard, played tough, battled some physicality. Morningside's very athletic, very long, very scrappy. So it was nice to see our guys fight and really attack their pressure. I think we played Peninsula past Saturday. We didn't have a very good game. We got out-battled, out-toughed. So it was great to see us bounce back and answer the call that we were questioning in our guys. Proud of them. Championship. I mean, that's it. That's our message. 10-0 championship. And this is not a goal that I set. This is not a goal that our staff set. Our players set the goal at the beginning of the year. That's their number 1 priority this season. So that's their goal. So we want to make sure we do everything in our power to help them reach that goal. We have 12 regular season games left. Just making sure we compete in every single one. That's all we ask out of our guys. The wins and losses aren't as important as are we getting better. Every day we want to get better, and we're getting better in the right time, right when we're entering league, right when we're getting ready for playoffs. So it's really important to us. And for these boys to have fun. It's the love for the game of basketball, enjoying their time with their family, with their brothers, and creating memories. It's more important. It's more than just on the court for us. Just making sure we're answering the call for that. I just want to see them be happy. I want to see them have fun. I want to see them be successful. I want them to look back in 10 years and say, man, I had a great time with my team. You know, basketball is a sport where you build friendships for life. You build family for life. And I think if I can be at these kids' graduation, at their weddings, at the birth of their children, whatever it may be, that's kind of what we're looking for as a staff and what we expect out of them. At the end of the day, basketball, it's going to stop bouncing for a lot of them. And for our kids, they don't want to go on to college, and that's perfectly fine. But how do we get the most out of them while they're here? And how do we make an impact on their everyday life outside of the gym? Very important.
2 days later, West wasn't as lucky when facing Inglewood. They fell to the Sentinels 64-59. North and Torrance faced off, and the Saxons got the W 54-50. But then North traveled to Morningside and lost that one 66-61. It was South versus Inglewood, but the Spartans were not victorious. The score, 67-54. Then South and the Tartars battled it out, and the Spartans just barely squeaked by, 39-38. On to ECC ball. The Elko men's basketball team defeated the Mounties on the road 77-67. The women felt the winning love too, defeating the visiting Panthers 46-32. But on the road 2 days later, the Warriors fell to East Los Angeles 50-59. More B-ball alumni news. North High grad and now pro ball player for Japan's Chiba Jets, Ko Flippin, has been a revelation for B-League fans. The 23-year-old, playing pro in his mother's home country, has appeared in 21 of the team's 28 games, is averaging 5 points and roughly 13.5 minutes per game. Bishop Montgomery alumnus Jordan Schakel, class of 2017, is no doubt part of the reason why San Diego State is only one of 2 teams right now that are unbeaten in college basketball. And for the second time this season, B-Monty recent grad Kayla Padilla, playing at UPenn, swept the Ivy League awards, earning Player and Rookie of the Week honors. The announcement serves as Kayla's 4th rookie award and the second time the freshman has been named the league's top player. And that is going to do it for this episode. We will see you back here next week. In the meantime, here are the social media stats. I'm at Lesley Mia. The show is at the SportsDesk TV. We've got email, Facebook. Be sure to keep in touch and take us behind your scenes. For everyone here at the Sports Desk, I'm Lesley Robbins. Thanks for watching.